So we're covering something really important to me today, and that is the scamming world. Now, for a little bit of backstory, I'm um, into networking, cybersecurity. That is what I'm getting my certificates for, um, because I want to help people, and it's something I normally don't cover on this channel. Normally, I'm talking about video games, but this is something that is important to me. Uh, we're going to be reacting to a video by CoffeeZilla where he linked up with Kitboga. If you don't know who they are, CoffeeZilla is a investigative journalist who covers generally crypto scams. Kitboga is a scam baiter, and what that is somebody who calls into normally refund scam call centers and will waste these scammers' time. It's like a prank call, but it wastes their time. This video is incredibly informative, and I really suggest you go check out that video before you check out my video. Um, it's very important for people to learn, and if you are a victim of a scam, anything like that, no, you are not alone. This happens to a lot of people out there. This one's going to be more about romance scams, and even though I know that it can be embarrassing to be a victim of it, it does happen, and there are a lot of resources for you. So, um, that's enough talking. Let's get into the video. All right, so I got the video up here. Romance scamming. What is a romance scam? Let's kind of get into that. There's a couple different forms of a romance scam. Sometimes it's a celebrity romance scam. Sometimes it is somebody you meet online, you think they're real, and then next thing you know, you're sending them money. Which can tie into like a pig butchering scam too, but generally that's a text message based thing where it doesn't necessarily need to be a romance. It could be a friendship. It's just something to build trust and where you're going to invest cryptocurrency into a long-term investment where you're going to have a high return on interest or ROI. Reality is you're giving your information out or you're just sending crypto and that never ends well. Whereas something like a romance scam is you think that you're actually in a relationship with them and reality is you're not. Romance scams, what they do is you go on a dating website or something along those lines. You meet a pretty girl, and next thing you know, they're showing super interest. But however, like when you try to video call them or whatnot, they won't actually pick up. And in fact, they don't. If they pick up, it will be a silent video where they'll say, "Oh, something's wrong with my phone," or something along those lines. Um, Good rule of thumb is video calling is usually a good thing. That's how you can kinda tell a scammer from not a scammer. You can hear their voice, you can see them, that is great. The problem is we're into AI deepfakes, things of that nature, and that's where things get scary. So, I'm actually really happy CoffeeZilla and Kitboga are covering this. Now, if you don't know who they are, CoffeeZilla generally deals with crypto scams. He's an investigative journalist who deals with the larger crypto scams, whether it's the Sam Bankman-Fried stuff or even influencer crypto scams, pump and dumps, things of that nature. He doesn't normally cover romance scamming. Kitboga, on the other hand, he deals normally with the return scam or the refund scam, where you'll get an email from PayPal saying that or Amazon or something along those lines, where you will be owed a refund or you'll be they'll say your package shipped or something like that, and there is no package. So you call the number, you get somebody on the phone, and they will refund you the money, when reality is they're just changing the code in your desktop once you log into your bank account to make it show that you got refunded more money than you're actually supposed to. Now, it's a little bit more in depth than that, and I definitely go suggest you checking out Kitboga to really get more into it. He ends up calling call centers, these call centers to prank call them, but on top of that, to waste their time. Meaning he'll stay on the phone with them for hours, days, months, just to waste their time so they can't scam other people. Because a lot of times they go after the elderly. That is a big part of it. Whereas romance scammers, they go after the lonely and the elderly. So, It's something that I'm so interested in, I'm so invested in, because, well, this is something that I'm going to get my certifications in networking, cybersecurity, things like that. This is stuff that I really enjoy and I find very interesting, and I wanna help people get through this stuff. So let's get into the video and see what happened. Because, like I said, I'm a little surprised CoffeeZilla is actually going after one, but you know what? He's a big YouTuber, and more eyes on this stuff is a good thing.
A 62-year-old quadriplegic died, causing her daughter to call me with an impossible case she wanted me to solve.
I reached out to you because I'm a longtime follower of your channel.
And I would just wanna kinda rewind that back to I want you to hear what he just said.
A 62-year-old quadriplegic died, causing her
62-year-old quadriplegic, someone paralyzed, died
daughter to call me with an
from a
impossible
for a
case
romance
she wanted
scam.
me to solve.
I reached out to you because I'm a longtime follower of your channel. Last week, my mother had passed away. My brother and I were organizing her affairs. We discovered that she had been a victim of a scam. Appeared to be a romance scam of some sort that had been going on almost 2 years, since December of 2023.
And that's what they'll do. They'll keep you on the hook for an extremely, extremely long time until you either catch on or or they get tired of playing with their food. Um, like I said, they go after the elderly and people who are lonely or have some sort of mental issue, something along those lines. Um, I understand it's an embarrassing thing to fall for a scam, but it happens to way more people than you think. And to the people who say, "How could you fall for that scam?" When you're that low and you're that desperate, these things happen.
The earliest that we can find evidence of it. She ended up in this scam sending more than $15,000 in Bitcoin crypto to a.
Yeah, Bitcoin, cryptocurrency. Um, Again, this is something that will happen. Now, I don't know if this is gonna be a pig butchering scam or if this is going to be, um, just a straight up romance scam. Either way, it's super, super messed up. Sometimes these romance scams can lead to other things called sextortion, which is ungodly messed up. It's something that is so disgusting. It's just so gross where they'll put it nicely, they'll get you into a sense of trust, tell you to video call them so you can have some naughty time, record you while you're doing said act, and then, say that they have your friends, and family on Facebook, and they're going to send the video to everyone unless you send them certain amount of money. If you do, they say they will delete it. 9 times out of 10, they don't. If you send the money, they will say, "Oh, we deleted it. Well, I'll show you that I deleted it." And then they'll come back a week, a day, however long later saying, "I have a backup. I need more money. You need to send me more, or I'm gonna ruin your life."
Scammer, and
That's
who she
extortion.
believed to
It's super
be a
messed up.
Hallmark actor. My brother and I are not familiar with Hallmark movies, so we didn't recognize the name of the person that was messaging her. She had been getting these messages pretty much since the day that she passed. "Hey, where are you? I miss you." And then as the days went on, it started to get more pressing, like, "Hey, I'm worried about you." And then there were like romantic terms that started popping up, like "baby, I love you."
Now, from the moment I heard this story, it was heartbreaking, but I also thought it could be
And that's that again, this is kind of one of those things like I was talking about where they gain your trust and then they pull these sweet notions and love bombing and things like that to keep you locked in.
impossible, and I didn't know if I'd cover it for the same reason I almost never cover romance scams, despite them being a $1 billion-a-year industry. It's because when a romance scam is done
I just want you to think about that number. It's a $1 billion a year industry. Scamming people, scamming helpless, hopeless people because you're too greedy. You're sick in the head.
right, you can never find out who's behind it. But 3 things made Erin's case different. 1, she was organized and archived all her mother's emails and payments. 2, the scammer didn't seem to know that her mother was dead yet, which I thought we could use to our advantage. And third, the scammer knew her mother was quadriplegic the whole time and exploited it.
That's disgusting, by the way. That's disgusting. You know, sometimes you look at some of these scammers and you think they're just on hard times and they're doing anything that they can to make some money. But at the end of the day, they're just criminals hurting and harming people. They don't care. They care about the money. They don't care about the other person on the other side of the phone. They think to themselves that an American or a UK, because where these scammers come from generally are from like India, Pakistan, Nigeria, Philippines, things like that. And some of these people think that if you're from the US, you're from the UK or the EU, you have money. And when reality is that's not necessarily true. So they say, you live a life of freedom. I could do what I want. It's gross. It's gross.
They acknowledge it over the email and they're like, we understand you're on SSI and disabled. And like my mom gave them way too much information about herself, which just like made her a prime target. She's like, I'm bedridden. I'm in and out of the hospital. I have a fixed income of X. She just unfortunately gave them a lot of information for them to.
And this is another thing. When you get on online dating apps, um, be skeptical. Be skeptical, or if you're meeting somebody on Facebook or Instagram or whatever it be skeptical that they are in fact genuine and they are real. Don't give out all your information. Don't do that. You're gonna cause yourself to have harm. Okay?
Use against her. And so she's been in and out of the hospital for like the last year, and they have been like hammering her over email to make these payments or else she'll lose access to this like Tyler Hines guy.
Now, full disclosure, this doesn't make it easier to track the scammer, but it does really motivate me to know how awful and evil this whole thing was. This person,
it's gross. It's so disgusting. It's so
woman. And it was at
disgusting.
This point I realized I had to take this case, even if I knew it was probably unsolvable.
These a lot of times are frivolous. There was a case of a sextortion scam where they ended up catching the people who did this. What ended up happening was a 17-year-old kid, if I remember this correctly, he was like 16 or 17 years old. These people out of Nigeria or Kenya or somewhere in Africa ended up extorting him for money, and he ended up ending his life, which prompted FBI to get involved, Interpol, things of that nature. They ended up getting extradited to the USA. They were found out. But this happens more than just that one case. This is something that happens all the time. And with these romance scams and whatnot, it is really hard to figure out who these people are because they use VPNs or they use, secure encrypted IP addresses where you can't find them. You can't even locate their general vicinity unless you're have some really super well tech where you can ping the server where that IP address is coming from. Again, these are normally secure, so you would have to get a warrant for NordVPN or whatnot.
My dream here is to find the people responsible and go after them and expose them for what they're doing.
Yeah, I support that fully.
Yeah, and so it's just going to be a hunt. I mean, there's no promises because these people have basically had to mess up, which is not guaranteed.
Yep.
And then the second part of this is that if they haven't messed up, then what we're going to try to do is catfish them.
Reverse it. Okay, so this generally it's a tactic that works extremely well, but it definitely can work. A lot of times, scam baiters specifically, what they do is they'll reverse a connection because, and these are refund scams. They can reverse the IP or the not the IP. I'm sorry, the any desk or something along those lines, where they can get into someone's call center and whatnot, and then start monitoring. That has to do with hacking. There's technical sides of it. I don't know exactly the ins and outs of it, but that's how they do it. They can reverse the connection. I don't know how they do that, though.
Now, before we can find and expose the scammer responsible for all of this, we have to do a review of the evidence and what we know. Let's start with who Aaron's mother was. Your mother was quadriplegic. She wasn't always. Actually, I saw an interview with her on the Food Network where she's, kind of bright and peppy and, making candy for kids.
We keep our eyes peeled for any kind of candy.
And like I said, this can happen to anybody. Anyone. Woman's probably bright. She worked on the Food Network. It can happen to anybody.
And add a little harmless mischief to it.
Our mother was a force to be reckoned with. Mom ran marathons. She was a very accomplished person, both professionally and personally. And so it was really devastating to her and her ability to control her life. Our mom was a rather competitive former gymnast, so always loved to throw a backflip or two. And just on an unfortunate day, somebody crossed her path and she ended up landing on her neck, and she was paralyzed at that moment from the neck down completely. She lost all ability to care for herself, down to determining her ability to take a sip of water.
And this is when she found the internet, where she started to spend a lot of her time.
Going from a person who ran marathons to sitting in a bed with no free will was not easy for her by any means. And so we were happy that she was able to get on the internet and talk to folks on Facebook and really just have those outlets. And it's really disappointing that it ended up being exploited against her when it was one of the things that probably brought her the most joy in her life,
And that's what they'll do. They'll exploit a weakness in you. And it's not even a weakness. You couldn't help it. But they'll exploit so many things. They're so good at getting you on the hook.
Towards the end, in the years when she wasn't able to do much else but spend some time on the internet.
So that's what we know about Deirdre, but who is her scammer? Well, we don't have a clue, except we know who it's not. It's definitely not a Hallmark actor named Tyler Hines. We know that because romance scammers never use their own real names. They use
correct.
well-known celebrities. And given that Tyler Hines is a...
Not always. And again, I just want to kind of go back to that. Not always. Sometimes they'll use Instagram models. They'll use just fake personalities in general, generate AI, or they'll come up with a fake name, use Instagram models as the picture, porn stars, things like that. And if you're none the wiser to who these people are, how are you going to know? And again, this is where it comes down to online safety, internet safety when it comes to these things. Make sure that who you're talking to is real on the other side and not somebody from Nigeria or the Philippines or India or Pakistan. You just make sure you know who you're speaking to on the other side of it before you even attempt to open up even a little bit.
A well-known Hallmark movies actor where he usually plays romantic leads. He's a commonly impersonated target, to the point where his actual Instagram bio reads, "Please stay safe from scammers. I don't private message anyone," which is just heartbreaking to read in hindsight. Tyler...
And this is again, these things happen. It's good to inform celebrities of it, but a lot of times these celebrities don't even know. But there is so many online scammers out there that will do this, and it's just sick.
Even posted as of several weeks ago about romance scams using his likeness with AI generated photos and audio. Sadly, though,
Like I said, AI, deep faking, things of that nature. That's the scary thing about AI. As much as I like the tech for certain things, as far as how it could be used as a tool to help us progress as a society, it's also a tool for harm. Normally, generative AI is what we talk about when we say that there are bad things about it, and there's a lot of bad things about generative AI. Can it be used for good? Of course, but for the most part, generative AI, at least in my opinion, needs to be regulated way more.
This warning came too late because reviewing the photos, our scammer definitely sent Deidre AI generated photos.
Yeah, you
with
can tell.
one even having Deirdre's
You see the finger, see the hand. And again, this is this is where 10 years ago, they couldn't get away with this. This wouldn't make any sense, but nowadays you can. But if you look at the hand, uh, you can see that this finger doesn't match up. What is he doing? Is he supposed to be holding a phone? None of this is real.
name on it with Tyler Hines holding it up. I also noticed the scammer used hospital photos of Tyler a lot, which I thought was weird until I realized hospitals were a common subject between them. And it was a way to make Deirdre feel not so alone.
Yeah.
Because in their emails,
And to
Deirdre
build a
mentions
bridge
the
as
hospital
well.
and her disability constantly. Quote, my challenge is that I'm a quadriplegic. I cannot use my hands. I don't have any other IDs with my up-to-date photo on it.
Probably
such as
using
the issues
voice.
Of quadriplegics.
How's
that for
voice
the errant
recognition?
quadriplegic finger getting involved when it's not supposed to hit send yet? So the scammer was relating to her with AI-generated
Unless she
hospital
could use
photos
her fingers,
of Tyler.
but I don't
They
know.
also used AI-generated audio of Tyler as well, trying to comfort her.
Yep.
I know things feel heavy right now, but I'm here. We'll get through this together.
And as you could tell, that is very much AI, but older generations, they're not going to know and hear what an AI voice sounds like. It sounds like a robotic. Things are getting better on that regard, which is scary. Things are progressing and getting even better when it comes to that. But if if you watch an Amazon anime show that uses AI dialogue, you can tell how terrible it still is.
Step by step.
It's making a
You're
joke
not
on
alone,
that.
and I love you more than words can say. Everything will be okay, I promise.
And look, I know those of you who are on the younger side, maybe you wonder who could possibly fall for this.
Which is what I was saying. It is more common than you think, and when you're in a spot where of weakness, things happen. Things happen. Okay?
Before you ask that, you should know these scams are not quick and they're not actually simple. The scam started with
They take a
Deirdre
long
joining
time.
Tyler Hines fan club on Facebook, where dozens of scammer accounts were waiting. And from here, Deirdre was emailed by a Hallmark management account who tells Deirdre that they're offering special backstage access to actors for a license fee. And one
Okay, so it does it's not pig butchering, but yes, this is another way they can get you and again, this is online safety, email safety, things of that nature. Generally speaking, you're not going to get a fucking email from hallmarkmanagement.co@gmail.com. A lot of people will look at the email, or at least they should look at the email address to see, is this a legit email? No, it's not going to come from gmail.com. Of course not. But again, a lot of these people aren't privy to these things. They don't look at that. They don't realize that Hallmark isn't going to email them. This is a massive red flag when you're talking about online safety and emails. You should not be if you get something like this, you're getting scammed. And then also things that you're going to want to look out for is spelling errors, typos, things of that nature, asking for money. Those are all red flags.
wanted to know if Deirdre was interested. She said yes, she's interested in connecting with Tyler, but before she could join, she was asked to sign an NDA, which sounds official, right? Businesses use NDAs.
That's fake. This right here is fake. You can just totally tell that's fake. And if I go back to that last email, I just want to okay. And again, coming from Gmail account, this should be there should be a comma here. There is no comma. These requests are quite private. May I ask how you got our email address? So this should be, you should be skeptical on this, right? How you got our email or what address? I ask, how did you get our email address? 1, 2, they emailed her first. Remember that. They emailed her first. So why are you even asking these questions? Okay.
Asked to sign an NDA, which
And then
sounds official, right?
sign an
Businesses
NDA.
use NDAs. But of course, this wasn't Hallmark movies at all. This was still the scammer, and the point was to lower the chance of friends and family finding out about the scam because she might feel that she's not allowed to tell them. Deirdre complied and explained this, quote, "Believe me, I have no interest in anyone becoming aware of this agreement." Now, Deirdre being disabled and unable to work, she didn't have enough money to pay for the license agreement up front because she was on disability fixed income. She told this to the scammer, and they put her on a payment plan of $500 a month. Deirdre replied, and they put her on a
We do accept monthly payments for any of the above plan. You could start with as low as 500 monthly, which can cover the cost quickly. Again, this just looks so unofficial. This sentence just doesn't sound right. These are things that you could pick up on. And again, I'm only telling you these things because I want people to be safe and secure in the online space, because there's a lot of really gross, disgusting, sketchy people out there.
Deirdre even asked for a discount on the license towards the end of her life, as she realized she probably wouldn't have enough time left to fully pay it off. And she asked if your group can see it in your heart to give me some sort of discount on the rest of this balance. The scammer responded, "We apologize, but we can't make any discounts."
Period has had a space in between. This is uppercase, the whole thing. Doesn't make sense. Kathy from Homer. We're yet to, again, missing, looks like a comma here. Receive the payment for the 27th of July. This is not capitalized. We apologize for the situation you're in. Space here. This is capitalized. So you can see all the grammatical errors, things like that.
So I want you to understand, Deirdre.
But you get the idea. I won't pause on the grammatical stuff anymore, because you get the idea.
Just messaged her online for no reason. She thought she had signed up for a legitimate fan club access program, and within that secret program, they fell in love over time, which she couldn't talk about because she had signed an NDA. And the whole time, she maintained that access by paying a fee. And speaking of that fee, here's where we're going to first trace the Bitcoin payments which Deirdre made. Lucky for us, she recorded the transaction hashes over email, and so they weren't deleted. But following the money, it looks pretty quickly like they go straight to a deposit address for an offshore exchange.
Which tends to be what happens. Sometimes you'll get these romance scammers that will have you PayPal them, which makes it a little bit hard to kind of track where their location is. But also there are times where they'll have you Western Union things, which allows you to track what country they're in. But this is offshore. It's KuCoin. I don't know what Bybit is, but so this is how you can do it. Now you can track wallets and stuff like that, but it's still a little bit harder when it comes to
without
crypto.
Government investigatory powers, we're kind of stuck here. And the same is true of Telegram, the messaging app, because we have their Telegram ID,
encrypted.
But nothing else, nothing that gives us a name. And that's basically
encrypted.
all we have. We have an email handle, we've got some pictures, AI generated, some
Clearly
Bitcoin payments,
AI generated.
and a Telegram account. Like I said, I didn't think it would go very far here. This is standard for romance scams.
Yes.
There's almost nothing to go on. And from here, it was pretty much straight to plan B, the catfishing. I didn't have a lot of other ideas. And my plan was to use the scammers' own greed against them, but with a little help from another YouTuber. A friend of mine, he does some like scam busting stuff. He's done some stuff before where he'll send some websites where they're going to get crypto if they put in some information.
Go check out Kit Boga, because he's talking about Kit Boga. He's so good, and he's fucking entertaining as hell. He's so funny, but he's so informative. He's very good. Go check him out.
And like one of the steps they have to do is they have to activate their webcam. And you know, sometimes websites will say that, and people will just do it. You know, they're so desperate to kind of get the Bitcoin. Now, if you don't know, I'm talking about the YouTuber Kit Boga, who's a famous scam catcher who does this all the time and catfishes these scammers.
This is so you won't bother my family again. Why are you leaving? Why are you leaving? Why are you leaving?
Luckily for me, he agreed to help us and lend us some.
It's one of the best videos of all time. Don't redeem. Why are you redeeming? It's so good. I think it's called Scammer Rage or something like that. It's so funny. It's so funny. It's so good.
Scam catch.
And it's honestly like scam baiting and things like that is one of the reasons I got into networking and cybersecurity, or why I wanted to get into it so badly, was because I saw all of these people getting scammed. And obviously I'm never going to scam bait. It's just it's not something I'd be good at, but just I wanted to help people. And these scam baiters out there, whether it's Kitboga, Scammer Payback, um, they're so informative too, not just entertaining.
Tools. And so here was plan B in a nutshell. First, Aaron would send the scammer a picture of a fake Bitcoin receipt posing as her mother, who the scammer still believed was still alive. We would tell him that it was a lump sum payment for the rest of the license fee. It would have a unique code that when the scammer entered it on the special website, we would know it had to be them because no one else had the code, and then we would grab their IP. And that was just phase one, which honestly went perfect. Within moments, already the first IP log came in. It was from
Nigeria.
From America, and then 4 more came in from Nigeria.
Yeah, Nigeria has a lot of romance scammers. In India and Pakistan, but mostly Nigeria. That's a big one. And you can see IP addresses right here getting pinged. He's probably using a VPN, is what I'm guessing.
Which honestly isn't surprising because Nigeria is one of the romance scam capitals of the world.
See?
And finally, it geolocates us to the rough area we should be expecting here. But honestly, it's really not enough though either. We still don't have a name. We have really nothing except a general location. So here's where we went to phase 2, the unmasking.
And that is super hard, by the way, is to when it comes, because IP is just a broad area. It's not it is not like, there's a difference between an IP address, which could be so it's a network. IP is generally in a vicinity. Everyone has a specific address on their PCs and stuff like that, and their computers and their tech and whatnot. But IP addresses has to do with the internet. It has to do with geolocation, things of that nature.
For this, Kitboga had created a human verification CAPTCHA system.
So once a scammer is on the page trying to claim their Bitcoin, they have to face a CAPTCHA to prove they're human, right? But this is not like any other CAPTCHA they've done before. It's like the number of beads in this picture. Honestly, it's just a 50-50 shot on whether or not they're going to get the answer right.
I told you, he just fucks with these people. It's so good because he did this one video where he did this CAPTCHA stuff. And then they had to call in. I wonder if this is the same one. And then they had to call in and do a voice recording, and then they had to do a video or something like that. And he had people on the hook for like a year trying to get the money out of a Bitcoin ATM.
Sometimes
or
they
out of
they also have to hand draw things.
Yes,
like
this
rat.
Now, in a certain kind of way, this is kind of genius design because it makes the scammer feel like they're making progress on getting their Bitcoin. Because up next comes the hardest part, the toughest ask. The scammer is asked to prove they're human by turning on their camera. It's the final challenge before they'd unlock their Bitcoin. And this was a big...
It's a great video by Kitboga, by the way. Definitely go check it out. It's pretty fucking funny too.
Moment, because again, the scammer has to voluntarily do this. No one can turn on their
It's
camera
really
for them.
funny.
So I wasn't honestly holding my breath. I thought there's no way until Kitboga sent me a photo. No way.
Yep.
He actually gave us photos and videos, multiple videos of himself. And I immediately wanted to show it to Deidre's children, Aaron, and at this point her brother had joined Duncan as well, and I wanted to let them know we had found their mother's scammer. This is also when I asked them if they wanted to take it a step further.
This is what his face looks like.
Way.
Here's the hard part though, is not only getting these people on camera, but getting them arrested, extradited, because a lot of times these countries, the police are corrupted, or trying to get someone extradited over stuff like this is extremely hard. It's extremely, extremely hard.
Wow. This is the guy. That's the guy who stole $13,000 from your mother.
Crazy.
It's insane.
what you guys want to do from here. We're gonna probably call him and confront him, and we can three-way you in if you want to say something to this person, if you want to confront them. If not, that's totally fine.
Well, first, thank you. Like, that's amazing what you've done, and the fact that you took our email cold and really put like so much effort into this, like, sincerely thank you. Because it was, our mother wouldn't have put it down, and she would be very proud that you were able to figure this out and unmask this person. So just want to say from the bottom of our hearts, thank you.
And that is such a hard thing to do, by the way. It really is.
Yeah,
to unmask these people. It
Number
really
two,
is.
yes, would
That's
love
why
the
Kitbogue is so good.
to say something to the scammer.
All right, this is where we get to phase 3 of the unmask. I didn't think it would make it this far, to be honest, so I was kind of flying blind, but my basic plan was to let Erin speak to her mother scammer, and then also my dream goal was to get this guy's government ID so we could report him to the proper authorities with a name and an address.
Again,
The
that's
idea
super
was
hard.
to let the scammer
But if they
think
pull it off,
he was
it's
really
amazing.
close to getting all this new money. But I would tell him, look, before we can release the rest of it, your account is frozen pending an KYC review. And here's how that went.
Hello, welcome to my coin.
I love
How can I help you?
Hello?
Yeah, hello? Are you there?
It's so good.
Yeah, because I'm calling concerning a pending withdrawal on my wallet.
Okay, excellent. I can help you with that. Can I start with your name?
Okay. Okay, I'm David.
Sorry, you said your name is David?
Yeah.
Okay, David. And can I verify there should be a 6-digit PIN on your dashboard? Can you verify that for me?
Okay, that is 415331.
Okay, 1 second.
So what Kitbogue does is he uses a voice changer to change his voice as well to also mess with these scammers.
I'm muted right now. He's so good at this.
Excellent.
He's
I have
incredible.
Your account pulled up.
He's absolutely incredible.
What seems to be the problem?
Okay, I'm trying to make withdrawal to an external wallet. Going through still pending.
Okay, so it looks like because it's an external wallet, I have to transfer you to my manager. If you hold on just 1 second, I'll place you on a brief hold, and then I'll put you on with my manager, okay?
This is scam baiting, by the way. This is
Right,
what
thank
scam
you.
baiting is.
I'm trying to make a withdrawal to my external wallet. Still pending on my dashboard.
Hello, yes. This is.
I love when other people try to get in on the scam
this is
bait.
Mr.
You've seen some
Coffee.
good ones.
How's it going?
Some good.
What do you need today?
That's okay. No, sometimes they come up with these crazy names like this is Mr. Coffee, right? Or they'll say this is William Clinton, like things like that. And it's just so good. And these people fall for it. And it's great. It's so good to get these people to fall for this crap.
I'm trying to make a withdrawal to
Not
my
crap, but
external wallet.
amazing. Just amazing content.
Yes. Okay. All right. Yes, I am seeing that. And unfortunately, before we can release the rest of the funds, we have to do a know your customer verification that requires a short ID upload, and then we can release the rest of the funds. That is just per our protocol. I know you've done a some kind of a webcam or something. I don't know if you have an ID you can provide, and we can release the rest of the funds.
Oh, he just hung up. I don't know if he can do things on the phone while he's also going on the internet or whatever.
Right.
So
Right. Yeah, just have. We'll wait for him to call back. I'm gonna.
And that's what will happen. They'll call back because they still can't get the funds.
Holy.
Mr. Coffee? You said your name was Mr. Coffee?
I froze. You're lucky I didn't say CoffeeZilla. I was freaking out.
Yeah, okay. Maybe I wasn't the perfect catfisher. It was one of my first tries. But look, honestly, it worked to my giant shock. And while we were waiting for him to upload his ID, we decided to get Erin on the line to set up the final confrontation. And that's when we got it.
Here, let me call her real quick.
Do you want to wait until he uploads the ID? Because
Yeah. Yeah. I'll see.
Well, you can talk to her.
She can set it up right now. Yeah, I'm calling her. Right.
Okay.
You got him.
Hey, so we're on the phone with him. We're trying to get his ID uploaded, and anyway, he hung up while he was trying to upload his ID. Can you see if you can set up a Discord account real quick? Because that would be the easiest way for us to patch you in.
You got it.
Oh my gosh, we got his ID.
It looks just like him.
That's
Right?
Oh my gosh.
That's nuts.
No way.
That's amazing. That is absolutely incredible. This is how they do it, and they're so good. He is so incredibly good at what he does. Scammer Payback is another one who's incredibly good. Those are probably going to be two of your biggest ones. There's so many different ones. There's Pleasant Green. There's so many good scam baiters out there.
It looks just like him.
No way.
That's so good.
Oh my gosh, this is insane. Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay, he's gonna call back in a second. We're gonna keep him on hold. Download Discord and send me. You have to create an account. Send me your ID, and we'll patch you in.
I truly could not believe it. I don't know if you
It is hard to believe because a lot of times these people won't do that, but greed will always be the downfall of people.
can see in the video, but my hands were shaking. I've censored out his full personal details from
Yes.
YouTube, although to be clear, it was not censored, and we have given the full ID to the proper authorities. And from here, we've gotten everything I dreamed of. There's really nothing.
And it's up to the authorities to do something, whether they will or won't. A lot of times they won't. Unfortunately, it is an unfortunate thing, but when you can do that, you can scare the hell out of these scammers to the point where they will not, they won't scam anymore.
Nothing left to do but hand it off to Aaron.
Not all
let
the
her
time, and
finish
in
the
fact,
job
most of the time they
however she
won't be
wants.
scared off, but once you get their info, you can just bombard them.
Hello, this is Mr. Coffee. Who am I speaking to?
Yeah, I'm speaking with David. I hope he's the manager.
Oh, David, yes, this is the manager. It looks like actually we have a flag on your account. Hold on, I have to pass it to the vice president here. Actually, she's in charge of anti-scam prevention. Hold on one second. I'm just gonna patch her in real quick.
Hey, David?
Yeah.
David, are you there?
Hey, David.
Or should we call you
Yeah,
Tyler
I'm here.
Hines, David? Because we've seen your extensive messaging impersonating Mr. Tyler Hines. And we see here you've actually defrauded a woman in the United States who is a quadriplegic bed-bound individual out of more than $15,000.
I'm gonna let
just
this run
prior to
because
her
this
death.
is just so
How do you feel
so
about
good.
that, David?
Fuck these guys.
I don't understand.
Yeah, and then
No, you
this.
understand.
They'll play dumb. I was going to let this run, but they'll play dumb and be like, "Oh, I don't know what you're talking about. I have no idea who that is. Why would I do something like that? That's not me. I didn't do that." This happens a lot where they'll just straight up lie and pretend that they have no idea what's going on.
You've been messaging and impersonating an actor and defrauding a woman who literally can't even do anything in her life beyond use her phone, can't give herself a drink of water. And you have pressured her and antagonized her into giving you money for almost the last 2 years.
It's disgusting.
You tell her you pray for her, David. I pray for you.
I'm an agent. I'm an agent.
I'm an
David,
agent.
You're not an agent. You're lying.
I just.
He's an agent, right? So this is where they start switching things up. Or they'll say, "I'm the police. Oh, I am on the track, so we had to use this whatever." It's just they'll make up these crazy stories to try to lie and weasel their way out of these things.
Provide my ID. I'm an agent.
And what is your agency doing besides extorting and frauding vulnerable folks?
That is not true.
Then what are you doing, David?
I was sent to receive a payment. I'm actually an agent.
Okay, and if you're saying someone sent you and you're not the person responsible, who is?
Sir, I can't disclose that.
Yeah, you see, they lie. They lie and they lie and they lie. Now, sometimes you do have these things called money mules, and what a money mule does is they're not the person who's scamming, but they are part of the scam where they pick up money. They will live in the United States, they'll live in the UK, where they'll pick up a package and the package has money in it from somebody who got scammed. And then they will wire transfer that money or put it into Bitcoin and send it to the scammer or the call center or whatnot.
Well, if you're not willing to disclose who you're working for and what you're doing, then it's you taking responsibility for defrauding a woman who is literally on her deathbed.
I never did that. I didn't do any of that.
You wouldn't have the information that you would, and you wouldn't be calling us here if it wasn't you, man. Do you believe in God?
Yes, I do.
Good, because I do too. And God does not look kindly on people who do what you do to vulnerable people. So
if they believe in God for their own selfish reasons, that makes any sense. When God is good to them and they get money, they really believe in God. But when they don't get the money, well, they say, fuck God. They don't care. They're criminals. If they believed in God or anything like that, any sort of spirit, they wouldn't do these things.
if you want to get right with God, you should probably start by being honest.
They won't be honest.
Oh, he didn't like that. He just hung up.
Yep.
Oh my god.
A lot of times these scammers,
sorry, guys.
they hang up. A lot of times they hang up on
It's
a
exactly
scam
what you,
baiter call.
whatever you needed to say.
It was your moment. Great job. I thought you handled that beautifully.
He obviously struck a chord at the end there. As soon as you said he better get right with his God, he hung up. So
Yeah. Jeez, you guys, this is absolutely insane. Your work that you put into this,
And sometimes these scammers will get out of these scam call centers and whatnot because they don't, it doesn't sit right with them. Some people, this happens in pig butchering scams a lot, where these people are forced into doing stuff like that. Pig butchering scams, generally, these people are taken like hostage and put into these call centers. That's a little different. That's something that you guys should look into.
Honestly, she was so calm and collected while confronting this guy, even as he spun up these excuses. And I want to mention that despite claiming he wasn't the guy, not only did she get multiple missed calls from the scammer on Telegram after that, she texted me soon after, quote, "He just erased all of the Telegram messages. I think he connected the dots."
Make sure you export the most recent Telegram accounts. That's the first thing he's gonna do is try to delete all that.
Oh, I just got 3 missed calls from Mr. Tyler Hines on my mom's phone.
Just now?
Really?
Yep.
So yeah, that's even more evidence that it was the same guy on the phone and on Telegram, because these were just moments apart. But from here, my honest hope is that the police now can connect the dots as well and finish the job. These romance scams are a blight on our society.
Yes, they are.
They're incredibly lucrative and hard to catch.
They're disgusting.
I'm really proud that we unmasked this guy for Erin, not only for her, but so the next time someone is scamming a quadriplegic mother, they'll think twice and wonder, who exactly is on the other end of this call?
Yes, hello. This is Zilla Payment Solutions. No.
If he's gonna get into scam baiting, that'd be the greatest thing in the world. It would be so good. Oh, what a good video. And even though it's not really the happiest of endings, because we don't know if the police got involved, I hope they did. It must have been very cathartic for the daughter to speak her piece on it. Romance scams are inherently gross. They're disgusting. And it's very hard to, it's very hard to catch, and it is lucrative, and it's more rampant than way people think. And it motivated me into, at least scams in general motivated me into getting into network and cybersecurity, because I want to help people and I want to protect people, and it's why I'm doing something a little different when it comes to this content. Normally I cover video games, but I really wanted to cover this because this is so important to me, because I really don't want people to get harmed. So I'm glad CoffeeZilla did this. I really am, because there should be more eyes on romance scams and things of that nature. It's not just refund scams that we deal with. So, so thank you to CoffeeZilla for covering this, and Kitboga for doing what he always does. And this was really good. So and thank you everyone for watching. If you stayed through the end, um, this was really good. This is really good, and this is really informative. So thank you everyone for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye everyone.